No. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Little Dark Crusade Season 2. This fine evening, we set the scene once again of an Abraham's Fountain. As Irene is once again assailed with various dreams, portents, and nightmares. The same one, cycling over and over. The sight of a very particular person handing over something, an artifacts of immense importance, of immense power, over to the one who had misused them to destroy the county, maybe even the world. And this entire cycle of events dominates her entire evening. She gets up. Her servants in the well. Her ghoul notifies her of how distracted and troubled she seems to look as she helps her dress. As she leaves her haven and goes about her errands for the evening, goes to feed. She finds it rather easy to feed based on the fact that she looks so troubled. Um, People seeming to sympathize her. Someone approaches her saying she looks so down at a little noble gathering, a little social with the friends of the aristocracy. And as she goes about the rest of the night, just gathering up and receiving various details of the city's affairs from her various contacts. One directly states to her that her face looks like it fell out the back end of a wagon. It's just how troubled she seems to look, as this perhaps drives her to Abraham's Fountain to seek the source of these portents, of these ill omens.
Yeah. Irene will actually slowly kind of go towards Abram's Fountain. It's not necessarily that she's dragging her feet, but she's hesitant. She's not quite sure if what she's doing would be making matters worse or better or anything really. Part of her wish is that she would be carrying her armor and her sword, but at this point she just has her simple looking but very effective quarterstaff with her that she actually sometimes uses to sort of lean on. It's not that she's feeling tired or anything, but the dreams she had, the visions that she had, just are very much in front of her mind and, well, occupy her so much that she even gets almost driven over by a horse, and she barely, like, you know jumps out of the way. It's not even necessarily scared because of it, but more like, oh, a little surprised that she actually failed to miss a horse that came like past her. And yeah, she will make her way towards the fountain, and she's looking around, looking for, like, the usual crowd of people that sort of surrounds the wishing woman. She's not necessarily there to be seen immediately. She kind of just wants to watch for a while. But she also knows that the wishing woman last time saw her way before Irene actually spotted her. So, yeah.
Yeah, this time you see the wishing woman in an unusual attire. Um, Seemingly having fully embraced the sort of religious connotations that the people of the district have ascribed to her. She appears to be wearing brown robes resembling a nun's uniform.
I mean, it's so sad at the moment she doesn't have aspects. But she's still trying to, kind of compare the wishing woman's like her actions, the way that she's moving, the way that she's like, helping the people, holding her hands, or even the way that she's looking. She tries to compare it with like both her vision as well as the uh the past few meetings that Irene has had with this woman, this lady, to see if there's like a difference there, as if sometimes it's like Irene is trying to see if her vision has already come true, if it's something that she saw of the present, of the past, or of the future.
Okay. You want to see something different in her?
Yeah.
Roll me perception empathy.
Okay. Go back to my sheet, which is on page 1. This is annoying. I'll have to jump pages every time, but this is fine. Perception, empathy. Okay. I have dice for this. Wow, that's 4 successes on a diff 7. Also on a diff 6, but
Okay. You have specialty in anything? Sorry.
No.
Okay. Only the 4 successes then. She seems to be in brighter spirits. You notice she's always been in brighter spirits around people. But this time feels a little bit different. She seems like almost happy. It's not really a facade, kind of. There is a sort of contentment there. She continues to heal people. But and she's not doing it directly from the fountain, as in she heals people from the fountain itself or from the side of it. She doesn't directly go in.
I mean, did she do that before?
No.
No, so
But there's less people around her this time. You notice people always ever so slightly put off by her, but at the same time they're also
yeah, that is actually a good question. Do people react differently to her?
um
I'm willing to roll another perception empathy for that if you want.
no, you got 4 successes. So you understand that people have always reacted a bit strangely to her because she's a
Yeah.
Cappadocian. She can't ever really conquer that. But as strange as they find her, it's almost like a sort of I don't understand you, but I like you sort of thing. Um,
Hmm.
there's sort of a bridge in understanding or empathy between the people she treats, but obviously because she treats them and she treats them with she treats the illnesses and treats them personally with respect and compassion. It's been fairly easy for her to overcome that divide.
Yeah.
Just because she despite not being approachable as a Cappadocian, she still has an approachable persona in regards to mortals. Um, but there's less people around her this time. In fact, a lot less people. Less people waiting to be treated, waiting to be healed. She has far less. There's either far less people needing her, or she has less of a following in general. Kind of hard to say. But
Okay. So Irene will um, like she sort of did before, will not interrupt her as she's working, but will wait until, like, the crowd has sort of dispersed.
Yeah. Eventually, it's not really a crowd at this point. There's not many people. You're kind of catching her at the tail end of her session, as it were,
Hmm.
if you could call it that. It doesn't take too long for them to go about their separate ways or finish talking with her. A lot of people do like talking with her. She even kind of offers sage words of advice for people, almost like a medieval agony aunt.
So yeah, I mean, we'll then slowly walk up, you know, make eye contact, then we'll curtsy, and we'll wait to be addressed by a person who is obviously at least her elder, which automatically makes her higher ranking.
I mean, I think she's so disrespected in this city. I think she's pretty hated. I think you'd actually
Still,
count as having more status.
probably, but it shows respect.
um,
I mean, in any circumstances, the situation would be reversed.
that's true.
Besides, the wishing woman can probably kill Irene with a snap of her finger, so, to show respect is the least you can do.
That's okay. Omar Shadid will protect you.
Yay! Wait, what? What is he doing here? Plot twist! Dum dum dum!
Omar Shadid isn't every scene, don't you know? No, she just, her kind of gaze um, slowly turns to you. Kind of hard to see her eyes beneath the hood. She'll simply say, "Hello, Irene."
Good evening, my lady. I hope the nights have been kind.
For the first time in many centuries, I can say they have been. Would you like to take a seat with me, or would you prefer to discuss the night elsewhere?
The seat sounds very welcome.
Ugh, you feel really uneasy being next to the fountain. It makes you feel sick inside.
I mean, Irene's hand will sort of touch the crucifix that she's wearing.
That
Like,
helps a little bit. It actually resonates with the fountain very
yeah,
strongly. You can feel a very kind of tight pull.
yeah, that's why she's sort of touching it to remind herself, like, okay, I'm carrying a small bit of what this fountain means with me. I should be able to weather this. So I take it they sit like at the fountain?
Yes, she doesn't seem
Okay.
particularly phased by it, but then again, she is very old.
Hmm. Irene will look at the water and seems to contemplate it for a moment before she returns her gaze to the wishing woman. Um, I am sorry that I'm disrupting your evening again.
It is quite all right. I was close to finishing.
I,
Hopefully, hopefully, in a few months, I will no longer be necessary.
I see. May I ask why you say this?
Why I believe the construction of this new hospital and the return of the Salubri will make my role quite redundant here.
Hmm. I am glad that they are continuing the good work that you started, and that some of those in the city seem to support this work. However, I would miss your presence.
I don't think that's true. I have done more harm than good to this place. I think
Yes.
I think both myself and the city will be happy to split ways.
I think it's safe to say that the city would be very sad to see you go. There are many here who have come to rely on you, and not many who actually know what you've done.
And those that are worthy may follow me, if they so wish.
Okay, I'm going to peony that again. Like, is that an offer? Probably not, but it's going to peony to make sure. Three successes.
She wasn't making an offer to you in particular,
Okay.
no.
Okay, good. I figured. Oh, I
Oh my
couldn't
god.
imagine. Like, I was like, wait, what? No.
But was it?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I actually heard what I heard and I interpreted it right, because if I had interpreted it wrong, then our conversation would have been really weird. But, have you found anyone who's worthy within the city then?
Yes.
I see.
No one the city would be aware of. Far too many of our kind trend towards looking down upon the mortal populace. Although I think they will soon find they will be their greatest threat.
Sorry, what was the last sentence? Can you repeat?
I think they will soon find that they will be their greatest threat.
My lady, may I ask you for your opinion?
Please.
How do you feel about visions? The things the Malkavians see, or other crazy fools?
You wish for my opinion on your own visions?
Yes. I can't remember if I even told. I thought I had never told her about my visions. Out of character question, but
I'm just going to go ahead and say you really don't need to.
fair enough.
This character has said things far more suspect than that.
I mean, yeah. Again, it's more like, okay, how would I really respond to that? Because if she had actually told the wishing woman about her visions, then she would be like, yeah, duh. But if she hadn't, she'd be more like, okay,
I don't think
noted.
she has. No.
I don't think she has either. Okay,
Mm.
check. And we're gonna go with that. I mean, the response would still have been the same.
I don't need to know the contents of your vision to be able to tell you that they will be as truthful as they are misleading. Very.
I was more thinking about the general idea of visions. I think there's truth in them. You've answered my question. Thank you. I agree with you. And it's sometimes hard to decide what to do with it. I've spoken with a couple of people about it, and some believe that you should merely be a spectator and not act. There are others who don't know. There are some who say that whatever you do, you always get it wrong.
I find that for many it's not a choice. Those who see beyond the curtain of time often find that, for whatever reason, they are often doomed to the role. It is the sad fate of Markavians to know all that may be and has been, that is happening, but never to be able to change it in any significant way. To be able to see but never to act. That their own foresights doom them to such inaction.
Mm.
As for you, I cannot say. Your condition is a strange one. But it's not the first I have seen.
That is good to know.
Many discover themselves to be under the same fate, the same curses to Malkavians. Others, not so much.
I am not sure about that yet. Then again, I've never had more than a casual conversation with a Malkavian.
I'm sure they've had many more with you.
Maybe.
Yes, I'm sure they've seen and heard many conversations with you. In fact, I'm sure that there are spectators to this even now, but again, unable to engage.
So life truly is a stage. I am not sure on. So far, I've acted on most of the things that I saw, even if people told me not to, but
Have they changed the outcome?
sometimes yes. Or have at least helped to get a outcome that was desirable. Not always, though. I remember a certain attack on a castle that could not really do much about.
Sometimes things just are.
Sometimes they are. I've had a vision, and it's been on my mind. Has returned. It's troubling me. I want to warn the person in this vision. I want to tell them that what they're doing is wrong and it's going to hurt, kill a lot of people, both guilty and innocent. I would ask this person to stop doing that. But perhaps by simply telling them about what I saw, I might bring it to fruition.
Perhaps, or perhaps there is more before and after that you have not seen.
Perhaps so. In that case, I would like to listen to that person, hear their explanation, try and understand why they chose what they did or what they're gonna do or what they're doing at this moment.
I suppose that depends on whether you can reach them.
Where you're?
Pardon?
I didn't hear the last bit of what you said because I think your chair was sort of creaking.
Oh, my chair did the creaks. Oh dear.
Creaks. So you said that depends on.
That depends on whether you can reach them.
Physically, yes. But sometimes it feels like we're talking at another level, one that I do not yet understand, maybe never will.
That is, I suppose that's the problem with canine society.
Us failing to communicate with each other on the same level?
That over time we become so segregated from each other that we lose the capacity to understand one another.
Does that make me very old or very young?
I don't know. Are you very old or very young, Irene?
I don't understand a lot of Canaanites and their way of thinking. And I disagree with even more of them. But I am not old. In fact, it's been 2 years ago.
Happy Death Day, Irene. Just many, many more decades, and then you'll become an ancile. And then maybe the elders of Europe may pay you some attention. I live to hope.
I almost wanted to answer, I hope to live. But hope is more important than life in the end.
I think that depends. Many view the lives of others much more important than their own sense of hope.
Are you speaking from your own experience?
I'm not sure if I had that experience I would still be here, but I would like to think so.
But is the hope for a better world, for a better outcome, an outcome that you desire? Is it worth throwing away lives for? Many of them?
I hope, in the event that lives are lost, they will be few. Though I cannot say with certainty whether that will be the case. Life is a precious thing. Many would consider it inviolate.
I agree.
But then, in order for life to prosper, sometimes lives must be taken. And this is the contradiction we find ourselves in, from night to night.
Do they really? Do we really have to take lives? Do we have to stoop down as low as those that we're opposing?
I don't know, Irene. But what I do know is that pacifism never saved anybody.
But there's a difference between murder and pacifism. There's a balance.
But does it still not wear upon the soul? Is it still not the taking of life?
If someone steals from me, I can kill them. Or I can help them in a way that they would not need to steal anymore.
But what happens when that thievery is the thievery of life? The violation of the inviolate? Or maybe worse, the perversion of it?
Then we must strive for a way that would not be necessary. Version or killing. It should not need to be necessary. It should not need to be.
I am glad we agree.
On that, yes. I've seen you. In my dreams. It keeps coming back. It's getting closer. It's, I will admit, it frightens me, it disturbs me. But most of all, I wonder why. Why would you make a deal with Mary? Or why will you?
I too would question why I would make a deal with Mary.
I'm gonna peony that. I hope. Two successes.
It's genuine.
Okay.
It's hard to read though. You don't really get much more than it. It's like
Hmm.
you get the sense that there's something more there. You know, it's honest. It's not. She's not hiding anything from you, like in that regard. Like she's not being deceitful or misleading. But any hidden layers or other like separate meanings the statement has is lost on you.
Okay. I I saw you have one of the tablets.
That's interesting. They would be easy for me to acquire, should I choose to pursue them.
Yeah, I can imagine. I want to ask you to not do it. I know I have no rights to ask you this. But I would ask you anyway. I would beg you. If there's anything I can do to stop this vision, to stop this from becoming reality, please name it.
She considers this very carefully. Hmm.
Irene will actually, as the wishing woman, stay silent. Not necessarily get up, but more like slink down in front of the wishing woman on her knees. Please, again, I beg of you, don't do it. Whatever reasoning she might give you, it's not right. I know you want to help humans. She, I can't imagine that your goals would align, and I can only imagine that she would deceive you in some way, which I find hard to believe. Anything. Um, Want me to make like a social check? I don't know.
No, you're already begging.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. She looks at you, kind of gauges you. She's going to do something. I'll just let her look it up. She's going to prick her finger. If you do as I ask, I can guarantee you that Mary shall never succeed.
Mary will nod.
She will place her hands gently on your shoulders and pull you up.
Okay.
And then she will kind of pull your collar down ever so slightly so that she can see your chest.
Uh-oh.
And then she'll engrave a symbol onto it with her blood.
Uh-oh.
If you wish for me to defeat Mary,
Then? What would you have me do?
first I must have you undertake the blood oath.
I see. How far?
To the point of absolution.
May I know why?
I cannot accomplish Mary's downfall without performing this act first. It is necessary. In the myriad thread of possibilities that exist,
I am going to need to make uh,
this is the stepping stone that takes place in all of them.
a roll peony again. Oh boy. 3 successes.
She's not lying.
God. Mm.
I would not force you to do this.
Why me?
That is a good question, Irene. one that irritates me.
Does the question in general irritate you, or the fact that I'm asking?
I'm not sure I'm obligated to answer, but the question.
I see.
I do not know what makes you so important. I do not know why the city sees you as so special. But it does. And it has. She gives a rather sardonic look. Rather fittingly puts us in a great deal of danger.
Because of my presence here? Then why would you not just kill me?
Because it will not break the sequence of events. It will not break the cycle. Mary will just start anew and try again. And we'll be here in another 100 years, doing this all over again.
I see. I may have been the worst choice for La Sombra, but I will admit that this frightens me. But I will do as you say.
Do not fret, Irene. You will not be bound to me forever. It is not my will that either of us are in this position now.
For what it's worth, I will apologize for putting you in this position. Even though I have not done anything. At least not knowingly.
I suppose we shall see. She will hold out her hand.
Do you want to do this here? Irene will actually kind of look around to see if like anyone's paying attention. Or
Not
if there's
really.
anyone at all.
Her hand is
Okay.
lightly caked in blood. In fact, now you think about it, this place is completely silent. There's no one here.
Oh, that's not odd at all. Yeah, I mean, we'll move her lips towards the wishing woman's hand. And start drinking.
You taste her blood. It is tea, like all blood is, but it is the taste of her blood is.
It doesn't matter, I don't want to hear it.
Well, I was going to say because it plays into a role.
Sweetheart, maybe you should look at my flaws.
Oh yeah, I feel bad.
So maybe the smell?
No, the blood. It's more like the sensations it gives you.
Mm-hmm.
The blood is very powerful. It's very potent. It's very thick. It's very strong. Stronger than anything you've ever imbibed. It almost sends you into a fit. And roll me self-control to not just keep
I
drinking.
figured. I figured. Da, 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 da. Oh, that's fifth page. My self-control.
If you fail this roll, you will gain the full addicted to vitae.
Oh boy, can I spend a willpower on this roll?
You can.
I will.
Your degree of success will determine how fucked up you are at the end of this.
Okay, self-control, you said, right?
Yeah. Difficulty is 8.
2 successes plus a willpower makes 3 successes.
Okay. So not too much happens other than you just simply lose a sense of time as you drink. By the end of it, you're actually quite blood drunk.
Yeah,
And
because
you have
that's...
you've even vomited blood up over the floor.
Oh boy.
It burns away in the presence of the fountain. Or rather, it quickly fades over the course of about a minute or two.
I mean, we'll lick her lips. Kind of, you know, cleaning them or trying to get the last drop in as well. And then she'll look up at the wishing woman again.
You make a great sacrifice for the people of this city, Irene.
I will pray to God that I walk the right path.
You do, and I will ensure you do not veer from it. She just sits there and allows you to be silent.
Yeah, Irene stays silent for a long time. A very long time. Then she'll look up. She's been staring at the water mostly. Is there anything you wish of me tonight, my lady?
No, but I am free to talk if you wish.
I'm not quite sure what to say. You have a plan, and you're obviously not gonna tell me yet what the plan is.
You of all people should know that one rarely needs to know the plan in order to perform it to perfection.
There's a difference between being part of a plan and not knowing about it, or working without a plan. Acting on what you feel is right. That's not a plan.
You are right. But in time you will come to know the plan.
See? With your permission, I will go about my business.
You should spend some time with your sire, while you are still yourself. It will be some time before you are able to do so again.
Yes, my lady. And yeah, Irene will stand up and curtsy. And walk away, this time actually leaning sort of on her quarterstaff, although she will try not to make it, you know, visible. Yeah, she'll head to Timuran later that evening.
You have the button.
Okay.
Have the button, friend.
Bye.
Bye bye.